Great. Hello, everyone. It's the end of the week at City Hall. Each week I come and talk with you about some things that have gone on this week and give you a sense of what you might expect in the week to come. Today, this is Women's History Month. This past Tuesday, we celebrated International Women's Day. This year's theme is Break the Bias, and you've noticed people posting pictures with that hashtag. They're crossing their arms over their chest, and this gesture and movement is an aim to create gender equality in the world that is free of stereotypes and discrimination. One of the things that I'd like to think our administration is proud to promote is that over the course of our 2 years here, we have made it a point of ensuring that our workforce is diverse both by gender and by race. So I'm proud of the fact that many of our most recent hires have been women into positions of authority within city government. So I think it's an appropriate celebration and certainly something that we in City Hall take very seriously. Women continue to face barriers to opportunities in the workplace every day. It continues, despite the fact that progress has been made. We have a woman who is Vice President of the United States. There are still barriers, and it's important to recognize that it's still happening, and we have to create a workplace where women feel valued. The last several months have also, last several years rather, have also we've heard an awful lot about women in the workplace and the difficult experiences that they have. Those experiences are real, despite how somebody else may want to spin them or create a news story over it, or even defend themselves and claim, that they are the victim of some culture. Those stories are real, and they happen across a variety of workplaces. There's a new study released just in time. It's called the Lean In, Women in the Workplace Study. It took a deep dive into the struggles women face daily while they're at work. The study showed that when women of color take a stand, they often experience retaliation. Now, retaliation isn't in the form of something direct. Retaliation can take a number of forms. According to the study, 32% of black women who have tried to speak out against bias and discrimination at the workplace, reported experiencing retaliation. 32% of black women who speak out in the workplace face retaliation, compared to 6% of white men. 6% of white men. Just think about those numbers for a minute. The study also found that Latina women are less likely to feel comfortable taking time off for family or personal reasons. As I said earlier, in City Hall here, Niagara Falls, we work hard to promote diversity, equity, and inclusivity every day, and we will continue to do that. Which takes me to the next experience that we had earlier this week when we went to the police graduation. Women in the workforce, the Niagara Falls Police Department continues to become a diverse place for gender and race. Officers are representative of the people living in their community they serve. They're better able to confront the issues in our society. And this past week, 19 recruits graduated from the Niagara County Law Enforcement Academy at Community College. 8 of those recruits were officers to the Niagara Falls Police Department, and 2 of those 8 were women. It isn't lost on this administration that we have become, as a police department, we have become younger and we have become more diverse. Those 2 things, I think, lend a different sensibility to our police department, an ability to relate to many of the issues that are out there in society right now. And so we're proud of the work that our police department is doing. Niagara Falls Police Superintendent John Faso, Deputy Superintendent Mike Lee, and then, of course, Detective Angelo Berti, who is a co-director for the Academy. They instill those kinds of that sense of diversity, equality, and inclusion in all that they do as they not only manage our police department but also coordinate our academy. And so, again, I want to join in the congratulations for the 77th class of the Academy, thank them for their service, and look forward to their good work here in the city of Niagara Falls. While we have a new set of recruits that just made it earlier this week through the Academy, today we'll have an opportunity to swear in 3 new police officers, and I'll join the Superintendent, Chief Faso, to officially swear in a new group of recruits to the police department, also a diverse group. And so you'll see more about that once we get through the ceremony. I don't want to tip anything, but you'll see more about it in our social media posts, so be on the lookout for that. But I want to welcome those police officers to our department. We've enjoyed a little bit of mild weather over the course of the last few days, but that is soon to change. It's predicted that by noontime today, the National Weather Service is forecasting that we will have snow. So the snow should begin sometime today, it's predicted, and it'll go through the weekend. I guess I will say what I always say to everyone. While this won't hopefully be an event such as the events that we experienced in January and in February, it still could result in a few inches of snow being on the ground. And so always in these situations, please remember to take it easy on the road, go slow, drive for the conditions, and also remember that our Department of Public Works team is out on the road trying to make sure that things stay clear and safe. So your cooperation and assistance in helping them clear the streets is always appreciated as well. You know, internationally, we're aware of the fact that the war wages on in Ukraine. Many have already contacted City Hall to ask about gas prices, and while I can't control gas prices, it is one of the things, among many I suspect, that we will see over the short term will impact Americans as a result of the war. And so while this continues to be on all of our minds, many of us are doing our best here in Western New York to reach out to try and help the people in Ukraine. There are a number of organizations working to get aid to the country and the surrounding European countries that are helping the Ukraine, and as they take in millions of refugees. One of those groups is the Global Red Cross Network. The Red Cross Network has already distributed more than 32 tons of food, water, first aid supplies, items, fuel, medical supplies to help the people in Ukraine and to those who are trying to flee the country. Providing first aid training to more than 12,000 people sheltering in metro stations and bomb shelters. Think about that for a moment. You know, we are enjoying the freedom that we have in this community, and I understand gas prices and other shortages. These people are sheltering in bomb shelters and in metro stations, trying to preserve their life from this unnecessary invasion by Russia. The Red Cross is also helping to evacuate people with disabilities, providing people who fled the Ukraine with SIM cards for their cell phones so that they can stay in touch with their families wherever their families may be at. Our administration has checked in with our local Red Cross, the American Red Cross of Western New York, as I asked to find out how people in our community can help. So here is what they have told me and what I'm going to ask you to do. The best way to help is to donate money. Obviously, many instances here in Western New York and here in Niagara Falls, typically when a family or a crisis happens, people are very generous often with foodstuffs, generous with other items that someone might need in terms of clothing or other sheltering items. But in this instance, the best thing that we can do is to provide donations, financial donations, because this will allow these teams to purchase what's needed on the ground to make sure that supplies don't go to waste. So it's important that we let the professionals, and in this case, the Global Red Cross Network, do what they have to do to help the people in Ukraine. And you can assist by providing your donation. You know, our local Red Cross has provided me with this information. If you want to donate to help with the effort in Ukraine, you can do this through the International Committee of the Red Cross website. It is www.icrc.org. Again, www.icrc.org/E-N/donate/Ukraine. Again, let me read that to you again. It's www.icrc.org/EN/EN, no hyphen, /EN/donate/Ukraine. And we'll make sure that we put that forward on this message so that if you're interested, you'll see where the website address is. Please, if you can, if you're able, please make that donation. The people in Ukraine are fighting hard to preserve their democracy. One of the articles that I read about the invasion, I think, was very accurate. The effort by these Ukrainians to fight against this superior military should remind us all of the days of our own nation's birth, the Revolution, where you had a small group of Americans doing what they could to repel one of the strongest militaries of the time, the British Empire. So let's do what we can. And to do that, again, the Red Cross is asking that we make a donation of money. So please, again, check that website. If you can donate, please do that. Understand that our sacrifice will likely be in the sacrifice of the cost of things here because of that invasion by Russia. So again, let me remind you, we're expecting snow for the weekend. Please be careful. And while things are sort of easing up in terms of mask mandates and all of those things, there's new word that there might be a new variant, the Delta Cron variant of the virus. So let me just please remind everybody, if you haven't received the vaccine, please make sure that you go and get it. It's free and available to everyone. Stay healthy. Enjoy the weekend. Stay warm. Please drive safely. I look forward to talking to you again next week.